you gonna stay? Brian Anthony Wilson, everyone.
Brian Anthony Wilson, everybody.
Bring the realness to our production.
JJ's here. Okay, great. Woo. Wow.
Okay, wow, that was something.
What do you think? Everyone just watched your first feature film for the first time.
It's insane.
How do you feel?
I feel great, guys. I hope
They
loved
laughed.
it. Yeah, they laughed at the parts that I was hoping you'd laugh at. So that's a relief.
I told them I couldn't promise, that people, that we have the same humor, but I promised they would like it. I said, I know they will like it. You guys liked it, right?
Yeah.
Good feedback.
Wow. So, can we get another microphone up here? I think we were supposed to have 3, so that
Okay, one on that end.
Awesome. So that we can kind of like pass it around. I'm gonna put it in the middle here, and you guys can kind of pass it around.
Yes.
Can we start from all the way to the left? I know you usually like to be last, but can I have you be first? And if everyone can kind of just go down, introduce yourself, and the name of your character in the movie.
I'm sorry, I have another question.
Well,
Did anybody see us at the morning show? How many people saw that? Who got some venison instead? Anybody not get a venison instead? I got a few more. I'm J.J. Cohen.
Anybody what happened at the morning show?
I'm J.J. Cohen, and I played Officer Winthrop Winnie Winchell. But you can call me Winnie.
Woo!
My name's Kevin Hackenberg, and I played the cinematographer.
Kevin Hackenberg, director of photography. Everything you saw on that screen, this guy had a hand in. Go ahead.
My name's Jeff Pfeiffer. I played Adam Hess. I'm Steve Harding. I played Wayne Powers. I'm Brian O'Halloran. I played his dad, Reverend Powers.
I'm the other Brian Dunkelman. I played Bob Hess.
I'm Jenna Kersey. I played Jess Peterson.
And I'm Christopher Dominic. I'm responsible for all this, so sorry.
Wait, and your character's name?
Oh, I'm just a movie theater worker, so hey, thanks for noticing.
Did you catch that cameo?
Yeah.
I'm Liz Foley, producer of the film, also played Dr. Amy Gordon, and I had a Wawa cameo. I don't know if anyone caught that in my hoodie. That's how I usually look when I'm at all. Whew. So, Chris, 20 years ago, you wrote a film in high school for a high school project. Miss Skybo, is she still here?
Yeah, it was for Mrs. Hyatt's class, but I had Mrs.
Sorry, Miss Hyatt's class was also here.
Mrs. Skyler was my film teacher, so I learned about the art.
There you go, and
I took you to her classroom, back then. That's pretty much exactly what happened back then. So, with the golf clubs and everything.
well, yes, I heard. And so here we are, it's 30 years for you? 20.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, 20
Almost
years.
20 years to the day. Chris did this for real. Yeah.
Finally. It's never too late, everybody. Seriously.
So let's talk a little bit about, you have a script. You did this in high school with your friends and your teachers. Parents helped make this happen. How did you start to begin to recast this? What was the process of finding everyone on the stage?
That's a very tough process because, I kind of have them in my brain displayed by certain people for like a very long time. But it was really important for me, especially with the trio, with Steve, Jeff, and Jenna, that I wanted them to have really good chemistry with each other. So we actually, when we did callbacks, I switched them around and figured out kind of which group had the best synergy, and it wound up to be you three. So, yeah. Brian O'Halloran, starred Clerks, in case you don't know. Let's get that ahead. Clerks was the reason why I went into filmmaking. So I remember watching Clerks the first time, back in the early 2000s. I was, a little younger, and like, oh, okay, I can do this. And so that directly led into the first version of this. I got to he said yes. So, and JJ and I go way back. We're Facebook buddies for like, 10, 15 years. And we hang out at conventions. He was in Back to the Future.
And there's a full circle Back to the Future moment
Back
for
to the
you
Future.
as well.
Yeah, I saw Back to the Future in 1985 when my mom was pregnant with me. Yeah, so also one of my favorite films. So had to get JJ involved. He came up with his own name too. Yeah.
Officer Winnie
Mutual. And then Duncan also stalked on Facebook, and we did a film together a couple of years ago, and I just needed this goofy, sloppy Delco guy, and I just called him right up, and doesn't he look great?
I'm available. Yes, I'll do it.
So let me talk to the trio for a second here. So Jeff, Steve, and Jenna, none of the three actors that played our leads knew each other, myself, or Chris before any of this began. It was a casting notice on film.org, a traditional audition process. So you guys want to kind of tell me what that process was like for you through the first casting, through the callback? And I know for each of you, this is your very first feature film. You all have a lot of stage under your belt, and TikTok in Jeff's case. Tell me a little bit about what it was like through this audition process and starring in your first ever feature film.
It's so spooky watching yourself on screen. When you do theater, the point of doing theater is that you don't ever watch yourself, which is kind of nice. So to watch the movie for the first time with a bunch of people is nerve-wracking, yeah.
Somebody said break a leg to me today. I'm like, it already is either broken or it's not.
So most of us, Jeff was reached out to specifically from Chris because of TikTok. Oh my gosh, feedback. But
Rest in peace.
Steve and I, yeah, illegal, sorry. Steve and I auditioned, we saw a posting on film.org because Philly has like a really great film scene. And so we just randomly showed up and now we're here and it's crazy.
And back to the theater thing, I don't know if anyone knows this, and this is a testament to Kevin Hackenberg at Kinetic, which did an amazing job on this. But this was shot in 11 days, which is unheard of.
In between his full-time high school teaching career.
I'm a high school teacher too, so I have a little time for that. And so I think between Kevin's work and I think just the main trio just nailing their lines, just having that theater experience, that we were able to do so many different takes, so many ad-lib takes, and we just took the funniest parts and put them in there. So it was a joy. It was the best possible situation I could have. So thank you.
And will each of you be doing more film? Do you have the film bug now?
Oh yeah, God willing.
Brian O'Halloran, we know you, we love you. You've been in many great Kevin Smith films. What brought you to the point where you're like, yeah, I want to do this indie film in this town called Delco about this movie called Delco with a bunch of people I've never heard of before, but what was that moment that you were like, yeah, I want to do this?
Well, this isn't the first time I've done an independent film about a certain filmmaker's point of view of a certain niche part of a certain state. So, that being said, I was like, yeah, let's see what this Delco thing is. It may not be no Monmouth County, New Jersey. I'm kidding. It was the type of thing I've known Chris. He was a fan of the work and fan of Kevin's work, and I'd seen him at events that Kevin had hosted. And the one thing that myself, Kevin, everybody involved in the original Clerks and the subsequent films that followed, the message was very simple. Tell your story. You'd say yes to your story. Kevin wrote Clerks because he didn't see what him and his friends would talk about on mainstream kind of, the movies. And the same, I would say, for Chris. Chris not seeing this kind of like, by the way, I don't know why y'all keep bagging on Delco being this hellhole kind of thing. I'm like, y'all need to go to Newark or something. I don't know what to do. Just, no slam on, Roz Bronca and all those guys up in Newark. They're doing a fine job up there. But this is very lily white down here, so don't be saying it's so bad. It's not that bad at all, but it's beautiful, the fact that the town came out, and to be a part of this, to have been asked to be a part of this. First of all, this is like the third time I've played a priest. So
I hear.
Literally owned my own costume. It's the type, literally my family is all from Ireland and is coming from an Irish Catholic background. Yes, Irish Catholics, woo! We're a bunch of troublemakers too.
When I saw you in the trailer for the 4:30 movie, I lost it, man.
Yes, so once again, that same outfit, by the way.
Same outfit, yeah.
And I tell you, that priest's collar and shirt gets a lot more credits than I do, to be honest with you. So the fact that I was able to do this and play a pastor and have more depth to this role in the sense of yes, we all struggle with our faith sometimes. I was a part of a movie called Dogma. Kevin wrote about his struggle where we question faith. We all do it at some point. And your take on this was very lovely, having it put through a young person's point of view and also just where am I in life? Dante struggled with, what am I going to do with my life? I'm overeducated, overqualified for the work. While they were my son in this is going, well, I don't want religion. That was your dream. That's not my dream. And that struggle. So to see it put up on film, it's my first time seeing it tonight as well. Credit to these three, carrying this film. I know that I came from a theater background as well, so one of the main reasons Kevin brought me on for Clerks was because I was able, in theater, you gotta know the entire script from beginning to end. I can't stop in front of you in the live audience. Wait, sorry, did I just do this scene again? I totally forgot. You gotta know that script, so kudos for bringing in theater people to learn this type of dialogue. So, yeah, keep going. So to be a part of independent film, I do a lot of independent films because A, they're better written. B, they tackle subjects that mainstream is I don't know, we're gonna get protests or whatever, or we're gonna insult somebody or whatever it is. And also, because it's independent, it's a community, it really is a community thing. I didn't know if I was watching a movie or a fucking infomercial for Delco. Where I was just has the movie started, or are we doing the ads still for Delco?
All of Delco's finest landmarks, businesses, and restaurants.
I love it all. Thank you. That's the reason why I got on board. I love independent film.
We are
honored to have you, sir.
so happy to have you here with us this weekend. Brian Dunkelman. You and Chris go back a little ways. You do a podcast together. And so you probably knew this was coming, right? Chris had chatted to you about this for a while. Tell me a little bit about your journey with Chris, particularly with Delco.
Guy just sent me a message on Facebook. And I read it, and he said, I got an idea for this short film, and I got a part that you think you'd be great for. I said, yeah, we did that together, then we became friends. And he produced a podcast that we did called Uncle Vision, which has been so much fun. And I just want to say, I started doing stand-up when I was 20 years old. And it was always my dream to be a film actor. This is my first role in a feature film. 33 years later, I just want to thank Chris, seriously, for literally making my dream come true. Get to work on the sequel, buddy.
I gotta tell you, I heard a few rumors in the audience that they were looking for a Dunkelman spinoff, so. JJ Cohen, all the way down to the left. Officer Reading Wing Show. JJ, how did Chris convince you to fly out here and be a part of Delco the movie? Tell me about that journey.
Well, it didn't take much convincing, number one. Number two, Chris says we've known each other for 10 to 15 years on Facebook. I've been kicked off Facebook a couple of times. So I don't know how long I've known you on Facebook, but
It's about 2010, I think.
was it? Oh, that's what they got me back on. I've been on ever since. It was 2009, I think, in early 10 that they kicked me off. But I remember the story a little bit differently than you. Chris was always very humble whenever he would approach me, and he was always sir, and You know, I started doing appearances, and I met him at Jersey Horror Con. And he signed up for my Dinner with Skinhead event. And we
It's a character's name in there for the future. Yeah,
we hung out for, yeah, that wasn't a Redskin thing. That was my character's name. And we hung out for dinner for 2 hours. And after we were done, it was still sir, and everything was great, sir. And then we'd stay in touch a couple of years, few years, and it was, okay, sir, thank you, sir. And then I got this part of, you did that first movie, Satan's versus Jesus.
Rise of the Zombies.
Yeah, Satan's versus Satan's versus Jesus. He would be the enemy. And did anybody see that? And that was during 2020, COVID, and nobody could talk to each other or see each other, even look at each other. And Chris made a movie during that. And I saw it, and I was so impressed with the fact that he could make this movie during those kinds of conditions. And I was like, hey man, I want to be in your next movie. And that's how it started. And then when I saw this, you know, I feel the same thing. I stopped being an actor. I was an actor for 20 years. I was really blessed. I was very fortunate. For those of you who don't know, I was in all the Back to the Futures. Dave Domenico. I've been wanting to meet him forever too. And that's Chris's brother. Hi, all right. He's a 976 Evil fan. I was one of the leads in. Did anybody know 976 Evil? You three? Okay, awesome. 976 Evil was, you know, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Robert Englund, the guy who played Freddy Krueger, it was his directorial debut. It's a film called 976 Evil. It's not that great. Unless you like, you know, schlocky horror movies, then you might like it. But do you do? Okay, good. So I did that. I had a couple of leads in some films, Fire with Fire, The Prince School with Jim Belushi, Lou Gossett. And I had this great 20-year career. And then I too started in the theater. And at the end of that 20-year career, I was in something somebody brought up. The last film I did was Almost Famous.
Scully.
Scully. Wow. Paying attention. So I had the character Rhodey Scully, and I got that part real quick. I went to audition. I was auditioning for like Beverly Hills 90210 in their final year. And I went into audition for the bass player and the guitar player, and I didn't get it. And I had auditioned for Say Anything. Was it Say Anything? Yeah? Years ago. So I knew Cameron Crowe's work. And I said, there was a scene where he's breaking up with the girlfriend and he's talking to his sister. And that really happened to me in real life. And so when I went in for the audition, I was bawling. Oh, yes, you love me. I was bawling. And it was too much. It was too much for the scene. And they were like, thank you very much. Let's try it one more time. Can you just tone it down a little? And I did it again. It's sexy. And they said, okay, thank you. So I passed on it. I didn't get it.
JJ?
But I was always on that. And so I was a huge fan of his, and when they came back, he said, I really want JJ to be in this movie. So I said, listen, I'll do anything. I'll be the pizza delivery guy. And the agent said, are you sure you want to do that? And I said, listen, this guy just did Jerry Maguire. He won an Academy Award. I'll do anything on a Cameron Crowe movie. So I said, you're sending me out on Beverly Hills 90210 in their last year. So they called back and they said, well, we didn't think he would be interested in a part that small. Now what's the connection?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people. Are you not getting this, Leah? Am I boring you?
I'm waiting for you to bring it back to Delco the movie.
Well, here it goes. Well, you had me in it. You brought me here, so you got to bear through the stories, babe.
I'm waiting.
So people say, why would you do such a small part? And someone once said, there's no small parts, there's only small actors. And you know who said that? It's probably an actor with a big part.
Thank you. And I'm glad you handed the microphone that way. Kevin Hackenberg. Kevin. Director of photography.
Did shoot a gorgeous film.
Yes.
Yeah.
constraints, everything you've heard people mention today. By the way, those locations, donations from everyone, Tom Jones, Wawa, the Springfield Presbyterian Church. We would not have been able to do this movie without all of those locations. It wouldn't have been Delco the movie without all of those locations. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That being said, Kevin Hackenberg, what was it like bringing Chris's vision to life on an independent film budget with an independent film crew?
Well, first off, thank you. I often say I just point the camera at whatever you bring me, and you brought me all of Delco. You brought me great locations, as you said. After being a producer, director, DP, company owner, Get Kinetic, having been on so many films over my career, I know it takes a team, and I want to thank my team who showed up. Josiah will get your credit and updated because you weren't in there. But also I want to thank Chris for really trusting me, to say, hey, can we do the one lane scene and like, it should just take us 2 hours, or all night. It took 5 hours longer than I thought it was going to take. But just having Chris trust and partner with us and partner with me and just say like, how long can we do it? How long will it take? And then to do some days that we broke some records. We did the party scene, 14 pages in 12 hours. Kind of insane. Jamie, who was our production designer. Here's the deal is that we all come, the reason that we could accomplish some of that was because of a great team and someone like Jamie who said like, hey, I can help you by lighting it with lights. So like most of that, the reason we could accomplish that goal was because you came and like brought your A game and we could just be like, oh, let's point the camera at this great location, this great cast, this great production design, and then we got some great crew helping out. So.
Let me add to that. So there's the scene where my son calls me at home that he's in jail. Literally, they set it up in the church. I'm literally sitting in a pew of the church. And they set up a box with a lamp on it, and they lit it in a way to make it look, and a phone, to make it look like I was in a bedroom. I'm sitting in the church, people.
You didn't trust us.
Y'all believed I was in my bedroom. Genius.
Brian, you, if I remember correctly, you were like, show me the monitor, I don't believe it myself, right?
I didn't believe where we were being positioned. And then I looked like, all right, I buy it. Oh, just a note to the actors, always check your whole screen, like, let me see what I look like. Oh, okay. Just in case. Because you may be like, oh shit, I look really, really fat that way. Can I get the Barbara Streisand lighting package, please? Thank you. Not saying she's fat. She's just very particular about her life.
I want to pass the mic to Brian Anthony Wilson in the audience here. So, those of you in the Philadelphia area are no stranger to the name Brian Anthony Wilson and the work of Brian. So Brian, can you tell us a little bit about your journey with Chris and Delco the movie? It should be on.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, my voice is a little crackly. Just getting over something. Anyway, I've admired Chris and his journey as a filmmaker, and I love always working with filmmakers in general, but always love working with young filmmakers, and especially people who are passionate about the craft of filmmaking. And we did that crazy piece about saints and Jesus that was mentioned, and I gotta get a copy of it, so no problem. So I'll talk to you later. Yeah. But anyway, yes, we did that, and then Chris had me out and to do something with the students that he teaches. He's an amazing teacher, and I just proud and happy to be a part of this, and to work with my man. clients, you know, admire both of their work too. You know, Brian O'Halloran and I were in the same movie together, Right Before Your Eyes, but we didn't have any scenes together. But I'm so glad we were able to work together this time. Yes, David is here. And
David Zabat wrote a film called Right Before Your Eyes.
Yes.
Once again, shot in the lower New Jersey, Philadelphia area. That's where I got to work with you again. I mean, if anybody's worked in the Philadelphia, Delco region of any sort of acting, theater, film, and you haven't worked with Brian Wilson, you know, it's just absolutely, you are a master at the art.
I appreciate it.
We did a next dream together a million years ago. So theater world, film world, all roads lead to Brian Anthony Wilson.
True.
Absolutely, it's a small world, and good people like to keep working with good people. So we are extremely blessed and extremely grateful for everyone on the stage. Chris and I have been working together off and on and have been friends for about 13 years now. And he reached out to me 2 years ago and said, I want to do this. I want to do this for real, and can you help me raise the money? And I have a bit of a track record.
You said we gotta be realistic.
I said we gotta be realistic. Part of my job, working with indie filmmakers, is to get their expectations down a little, right? Down to reality on the ground. And you know, convincing. Let's go with a smaller goal, because you don't want to fail. You know, you want it to be a success. So I convinced Chris to drop the goal to $30,000. And we doubled that in 30 days, thanks to you. And then thanks to all of our businesses, sponsors, investors, tripled that. So, you know, we're on the low budget SAG agreement. We're, you know, under a $200,000 film thanks to so many in-kind donations and sponsors. We would have never been able to do it. And so, yeah, I convinced them to lower the goal. We blew past those expectations. And every day I feel like we blow past our expectations. I'm kind of the one that brings us back down to ground.
Leah, make sure I don't do anything stupid.
Yes. Chris found a shirt. What did that shirt say?
Trust Leah or
I
something?
should have done what Leah said
done what Leah
first,
said, yeah.
something like that, which I thought was really sweet. Kevin joked about getting that shirt as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work with my friend and not only help his dream come true, but realize, like, oh my gosh, this is bigger than both of us. This is bigger than all of us, and this has legs, and the community just continues to make this grow. We have no idea what's going to happen next, but we are sold out all weekend. We still have a few seats left for Sunday night and Monday night, so spread the word. Most of the cast will still be here on Sunday night. Monday night, you know, it's just kind of come in your pajamas and enjoy what we got left. Our food sponsors tonight, before we wrap up here, and I still have a few, you know, just kind of give you guys all some parting words, but want to thank our food sponsors, State Street Pub, Roma Deli, Ariana's, Bernie's Pretzels, Phil and Jim's, who am I missing? Little Anthony's Pizza, the Media Theater for everything that they've done. Who am I missing? Kitchen Tacos coming in hard on Sunday. Come back for our taco party Sunday night.
We got Taft Treats.
Taft Treats is everywhere around here. Thank you so much, Taft Treats.
Yes, please stop by and see our sponsors. And
Bird Gang Liquors from Philly. They were doing the Delco Crickwater upstairs. I hope you tasted it. It was quite delicious.
And if you really want Delco swag, you need to go upstairs and see Candace, because she's got some really, really cool stuff in there. Shirts, shot glasses, and everything. You saw, like, you know, Brian had a mug in the movie. All that stuff was from her, so we're really grateful to have her as a sponsor.
We also have yes. This is our limited edition Delco the movie shirt. I'm going to die in Delco. It's got the logo on the back. There's limited amounts, limited quantities in the lobby. If you do want one, we are also taking a list. If we have enough interest, we'll order more and we'll get them to you, but we don't want to go crazy. You know, we are an indie film. Yeah, you know what, JJ? I believe everyone has signed the posters except for you. So Chris is going to tell you where to go with that. And Brian. So JJ and Brian, we've got posters for you signed. Again, if you're a crowdfunding backer and you're expecting a signed poster, see us before you leave tonight as soon as we get these last 2 signatures on your poster. Pass the mic, start to finish, parting words. What do you guys want to say to everyone? What do you got to say? Anything? Anybody?
Thank you to both of you. It's just been an amazing experience. I mean, to see a community come together like this is just so far from Hollywood. I had to come to Delco to get my first movie, and I'm so grateful to this community. Here's the company that donated food for 100 people. 100 people in one day. Congratulations to all of you.
Roland Deli, yes, who fed us throughout all of our shooting. Roland, thank you so much.
I look forward, this is your first feature, and you did the story, your passion story. I now look forward to see where you go with the rest of these. And I wish you luck. I hope the town is behind you on that one as well. And, these people have supported you. It's on their shoulders you ride upon. Now it's time to fly.
Thank you, everybody in the community, just for making this a crazy ride, and for all the mean and nice comments on Facebook.
This was very much a dream come true, so thanks to everybody up on here and everybody out there. It wouldn't have happened without all of you, so thank you.
I just want to second what everyone said. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Leah. I had the time of my life filming this movie. I had so much fun. And I just want to thank everybody who was involved and everybody who came to see it. And thank Jesus.
Thanks, Chris. I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
I want to echo basically what Brian Dublin said. I was a little emotional thing too, but I got caught up by Leah.
I'm the producer, that's what I do.
Okay. But
Expectations high, she brings you down.
But it was, that's right. And she definitely did. But I was honored that Chris wanted me to be part of this. I haven't worked in about 30 years and had no interest. And Chris did it. And not only did Chris do it, but when I actually went on their podcast, and I had such a great time with Brian, that I thought anything I do with Brian, and my scene happened to be with Brian, will be good. Because Brian and I are good together. Brian and I are very funny together. And with Chris behind the wheel of that, it couldn't have gone wrong. So it didn't matter to me the size of the room. I was thrilled. Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Chris, he has some parting words. But before I do that, I just want to remind you that we are here for about another hour here at the iconic Media Theater. Thank you, Media Theater, for everything you've done so far and will continue to do this weekend. We have about 2,000 people coming through these doors this weekend to see the city film. We are here for about another hour, so when the Q&A ends, you do not have to completely exit. There are desserts upstairs, so if you haven't gotten enough sweets or treats, please and visit our sponsors, our vendors out there. If you're not already following us on Facebook and Instagram and all those good things, please do so, delcothemovie.com. From here, the sky's the limit, right? We are putting a package together, we're seeking distribution, we'll see where it goes, we'll let you all know, as Chris says, worst case scenario, VHS tapes in the back of his car. Thank you, and I know Chris had some last words he wanted to say.
And Chris, don't forget the Pierre Domenico players.
The Pierre Domenico players, I like that. Yeah. So I just want to say, without all of you, this is just all in my head. So I just want to say how grateful I am to the cast and crew and the entire team and all of you out there just for believing in this. Otherwise, it's nothing. It's just in my head. So thank you guys. Have a great night.